1 Corinthians chapter 14. The purpose of spiritual gifts. Verse 1. Follow the way of love and eagerly desire spiritual gifts, especially the gift of prophecy. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 discusses the purpose of speaking in tongues and prophecy, which are spiritual gifts. It seems that the Corinthian church members were fervent in prayer when they gathered. Although we cannot know how many believers there were, it appears that many among them spoke in tongues, prophesied, or interpreted tongues. Thus, when they gathered, they prayed fervently and engaged in speaking in tongues, prophecy, and interpreting tongues without restraint. They may have done this as if boasting to one another. This likely caused confusion in the church. Paul encourages them to desire spiritual gifts, but to seek prophecy and interpreting tongues more than speaking in tongues. He instructs those who speak in tongues to be silent if there is no interpreter present. Prophecy should be done in an orderly manner. The reason for Paul's advice is simple. The one who speaks in a tongue builds up themselves, but the one who prophesies builds up the church. Verse 4. It is all for the purpose of building up the church, for the sake of the believers and those who visit the church for the first time. Speaking in tongues, interpreting tongues, prophecy, and revelation are all spiritual gifts. However, speaking in tongues is incomprehensible to others, making it nothing more than meaningless noise to them. But interpreting tongues and prophecy can be understood by others, making them beneficial to the listeners. That is why Paul emphasizes interpreting tongues and prophecy over speaking in tongues. The Corinthian church members' fervent prayer and their disorderly conduct are evident. Paul commends their zeal but rebukes their disorderliness. Disorder leads to a shaken and confused church. There is a saying, too much is as bad as too little. Having many gifts is good, but if they are too numerous to contain and manage, they can bring trouble instead. Spiritual gifts are for the sake of the church members, to set right the children of God, and to fulfill God's will and please Him. If spiritual gifts cause harm to believers and do not please God, wouldn't it be better to have fewer gifts? Do everything in a fitting and orderly way. Verse 40. Lord, help us not to lose a heart of humility and service. Let everything be for your glory. Holy Spirit, lead us in truth.